You would think Jim would be good here. This is kind of what this deck is built to do. Destroy all the creatures and eventually kill you. Davis is looking at a pretty clean battlefield right now, folks, as he is going to play,
Yes.
Yep, that's Stony Silence then. 20-10 in favor of Dan, but it certainly doesn't feel like he's winning anymore. Now does it? Oh, yeah. Well, I take that back.
Brought reinforcements.
Memnite is here. It's anyone's game now as here comes old Vault Scourge. Jim is thinking about playing his Path to Exile as the former player's champion, and he will. So Path to Exile is going to take care of Vault Scourge. See you later, bye. Search for a Mountain Will Dan. That mountain, of course, will enter the battlefield tapped. There we are from the path. That Darksteel Citadel, it's not going to do much either. Jim says, why don't you go ahead and move that over there? I don't want you to think you can tap that for mana because I've got Stony Silence in the battlefield, and that's not really going to do much of anything. That's why we did that. That's literally the reason we did that. There we go. I think Dan may have a Gear Pow. Nope. Can't tap it. Stony Silence is really lame, man. We agree.
Oh. He's got the grid going now.
Oh, the Cali? That's the Cali box out.
That's where you surround your opponent's permanents with your own.
Yeah.
The grid is just when they're on random spots.
Yep. Well, Jim did a system with the grid.
Yeah.
Jim will play Search for Escanta, a Celestial Accolytate, and pass the turn back. Dan will attack here with Memnite. Jim will take the 1, it looks like, and fall down to 9. It looks like Dan has a plating in hand. Doesn't do very much, of course, because of the Stony Silence. I also see a copy of Galvanic Blast.
I mean, that's Dan's shot of getting this game over with is burning out via Galvanic Blast. It's going to be really hard to do it.
Well, that's not a bad card.
Not bad either.
Yeah, that's champ. Jim will check here with Search. Jim wants a Wrath of God style effect right now. That's what he needs. Looks like he's going to keep this card. Found a copy of Snapcaster Mage. That's not bad. Field of Ruin. Do a nice job of taking care of one of those creature lands, either Inky or Blinky. We'll head back over to Dan now.
Really important for Dan to, even if he plays cards that don't have any text box, he's got to just make effort to keep Metalcraft on. You don't want to lose your Edge Champion randomly to a Snapcaster Mage block or some such.
And Jim is going to go a reach-in. He's going to play Snapcaster Mage. This will be a Lightning Bolt there. And that'll resolve, and now here is Blessed Alliance to take care of the Edge Champ. That's a way to do it, folks. Bye-bye, Edge Champion. Davis starting to really get in control of this one. Life total is not that low. Cranial plating does not matter. Though now there are 3 artifacts on the battlefield for a metal-crafted Galvanic Blast. For Davis, he's going to take a look here at Search for Escanta. And he's going to activate Field of Ruin. Looks like with Search for Escanta on the stack. He'll go after the Spire of Industry. And Caven has the opportunity to search for a basic if he has another one outside of the mountain. As I take a look at his deck list, the answer is he does not have another one.
Yeah, very rare. Not unheard of, but very rare for Affinity to have a second basic in the deck.
One of the only people who do it, Peter Terbergen. And I only had a mountain in his deck most instances. And I'm sure we'll see him later this weekend and see if he's still got those 2 basics. They're going to check to see if Dan actually has a shuffle from the Field of Ruin. I believe that he does. Even if he doesn't search, I believe that he does. And he will. A minor thing, but a thing nonetheless. You see, because the search is mandatory. That's why.
Yeah. Although I don't even know what is mandatory and what's fake mandatory. Like, what's mandatory, but you can make your opponent forget to do it, and what's
Sure.
actually mandatory.
Sure. Who even knows anymore?
A couple level 5 judges, and
Galvanic Blast is going to bring Jim down to 5.
Then-
He will transform his Searcher Escanta into Escanta, the Sunken Ruin.
a handful of level 5 judges, and then everyone else is guessing, so maybe half of them are right.
I'll take the under on half. Here comes Snapcaster Mitch. Back over to Dan. Who, again, he can steal this one with Galvanic Blasts, plural. He's already cast 1. That's why Jim's at 5. Oh, boy. Welding Jar. Oh, yeah. Here's an Escanta activation. This is how this deck runs away with things. Jim has found Electrolyze. Does he want Electrolyze or Bolt? It looks like he will go with Electrolyze. Jim really can't pass up on that card advantage.
Yeah, mana's not really an issue either.
Davis has found a Celestial Colony. What Davis wants to find, I think, is either a counterspell or a little bit of life gain.
Yeah, Lightning Helix would be great. Snapcaster Mage, the Blessed Alliance would be nice. You know, just at 5 versus 4 is a big difference against Galvanic Blast, but you would still like a little bit more cushion if you can find it.
It looks like Dan has another copy of Galvanic Blast in hand. He'll play in, Blink Moth Nexus. Here is, and it's Conta activation, 3, 4. Does Jim want Serum Visions or does Jim want Lightning Blast? Or excuse me, Lightning Bolt.
Jim wants Serum Vision. He might take Lightning Bolt, but Jim wants the cantrip.
I guess it is Jim after
Yes.
all. Jim loves to draw and scry. Supreme Verdict, not so much. Jim, Serum Visions. Let's look at a couple of cards here. There's Logic Knot. I think you want to keep that counterspell, Jim, and Jim knows that. The counterspell gives him the check mark on the game. He just needs to be able to get it into his hand, and that is what Search for Escanta will maybe allow him to do, or this Serum Visions. Easy breezy here for your former player's champion. He's found Teferi and Wear Tear as well. Teferi's going to go on top. Wear Tear will go to the bottom. And now an attack for 2 with a little bit of flourish. Dan will fall down to 14. Not willing to cast that Galvanic Blast just yet. And he'll just pass the turn back, will Dan. Again, pretty sure he has one of those in his hand right now. Curious if Jim is willing to put the shields down for a turn. I guess the thought process is it can't kill me this turn. Looks like a Lightning Helix he may take. He could also take a Teferi in this instance. We'll take a look at Escanta one more time. For those of you wondering, what exactly can that card take? Well, it can take a lot of stuff. Look at the top 4 cards of your library and reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them and put it into your hand. Teferi counts for those things. Jim will draw. In with Snappy. Now here's one of the interactions you love to see in this format, Patrick. Teferi coming down. It'll plus to draw a card, and it can untap Escanta.
Sweet.
Yeah. Which means that Jim is getting all the card advantage going now. Dan Caven will draw a card. He knows he's in some trouble, trying to pick his spots with these Galvanic Blasts. Again, we know he has one in his hand. This will be a Signal Pest. That's something that'll die to Electrolyze and the bevy of other removal spells that Jim has in his hand. Again, Davis right now, 5 is a lot more than 4 in this instance. It's important that he's at that number. Here's Electrolyze, 1 and 1. Galvanic Blast you. Davis will fall down to 1. I think Jim knew that was a possibility as he draws a card from Electrolyze. He'll untap. He'll draw. Stony Silence still sitting pretty here, plus with the Teferi. Draw a card. Found a Steam Vents.
Yet just needs to cover himself against basically just a burn spell from here.
Looks like Jim has a Snapcaster Mage. He'll play, I think, Blessed Alliance to gain 4.
Just get back up to 5.
Yeah, and I think that's the smartest thing Jim can do there. Get that 4 life, stay out of Galvanic Blast range. It's going to take a whole lot to lose this game now as there's a Spire Bluff Canal. And because of his activation of Teferi, he gets to untap some lands. and keep up appearances with a whole bunch of stuff. Teferi looking good in the last match with Rossum. Looks great here. Jim Davis will win this match over Dan Caven. 2-1. Just got control.